Newcastle with that big semi-final win last year, 30-6 the last meeting at Suncorp. As the Knights get their premiership defence underway here at home against St George Illawarra. The Dragons with first use of it. And Takaranga Katoa with the first carry of the new season for St George Illawarra as Brown wrapped up there by Albert Jones, one of the new recruits for Newcastle, along with Predabon. Toanie, the teenager, the 18-year-old. Keep an eye out for her this season in Dragons colours. Now McGrath West.
God, she's looking fit. She's come back this season fitter than ever.
One of those three players remaining from the Dragons side last year that played the Knights as Bobby Law busts through, the former Newcastle Knight. Target. McGregor, plenty of space out wide, and Jasmine Strange is under some pressure. That's a great take, but also brilliant defence and a great chase from the Dragons, led there by Keely Brown.
What a great start from the Dragons. Broke the line straight away. Probably was a better option to go left, I would say, from Bobby Law to use her speed on the wing, but it's only early days.
What a great set to really put the Knights under some pressure there. First of the game from the Dragons as Rima Butler. So used to seeing her come off the bench for the Eels last season. She starts today for the Knights. Southwell here, kicking on the fourth. Not her best kick, but it's going to bounce up for Moran, and she's going to bust away, Caitlin Moran, looking for support. It bobbles back to Strange, and she keeps the ball alive. Picked up by Clydesdale, but there was a knock on. Spotted by the referee.
Just a little bit out of position there, I think, out the back, Benny. And really good vision from Jessie Southwell to kick early. Really good vision. Yeah, I think Tegan Berry was just a little bit, bit flat there, need to be late. But it's early in the game, so she'll reposition herself, I'm sure.
Now here's the ball team to go forward there. Clydesdale was a little confused, and I think the Knights thought they better not use their challenge about 2.5 minutes into the match. So what an enterprising start to this opening round match in Newcastle as Tegan Berry looked to take on Shanice Parker. And we'll say good afternoon for the first time to Jake Duke. Jake, how are conditions on the sideline?
Good afternoon, guys. What an exciting start to a massive doubleheader here in Newcastle this afternoon. They're expecting a crowd of over 20,000, and a number of them are already through the gates to watch their defending champion NRLW Knights get their season underway. They come up against a very different-looking Dragons side to last season. And as for the conditions, Benny, it is very lovely here, a bit chilly, and there is a good breeze as Racine McGregor makes her way through the middle. A good breeze behind the Dragons here in this first half.
Thanks, Jake, as Racine McGregor got back up and kept the run going. Newcastle's defence being tested out here in the opening minutes. Nathan Wong, the gold medalist, finds Law, and she's trying to get away from a former centre teammate in Parker. Final play here for the Dragons, almost 70 metres as target. Finds McGregor looking for the kick, and that's smart from Upton, who's going to bring it back to the 20. The Dragons have to be quick to get back in defence as Tamika Upton looks to make them pay. Parker now fending away and getting it almost to halfway. Breathless start to this match.
Nathan Wong's looking so dangerous with the ball. I just want to see if she's got a kick option in her, though. They're going to Racine McGregor every time, which resulted in not the best kick option. So would love to see if Nathan Wong can also have a kick for the Dragons.
Predabon massively impressed her coach Ron Griffiths in the pre-season. Higgins onto Albert Jones. Butler again, almost able to bust through. Higgins finds Moran. Neat little dink up and over the top. Put Mapasua under some pressure, and then Clydesdale rushing through. And the Dragons are 5 metres from their own line. Brown caught high. They didn't need that, did they, Newcastle? Olivia Higgins with the high tackle, just as they really had the Dragons pinned inside their own 10.
Yeah, great run from Keely. She's a strong runner of the ball. She loves getting her team out of danger and helping out. Seen her a couple of sets now getting in there and taking a run, helping her middles out.
Sortia, the former Bronco.
Hold! Go. 2.
Now Takaranga Katoa finds
Caitlin up!
Toanier.
Square! Hold Jesse! Go.
Target, and this is Takaranga Katoa, part of that Bulldog side that won the Harvey Norman Premiership in New South Wales this season. Target on to Berry doing some work, the fullback up the middle. And looking for the quick play, the ball. Back it comes to Nathan Wong, so she is kicking there, and it did get a little bit awkward there for Sheridan Gallagher on NRLW debut, but a good take in the end.
Yeah, you don't mind when it gets awkward if someone catches it, Betty. It's you blow up at each other if it's awkward and it bounces. So play on from here.
Yeah, on NRLW debut, Gallagher there, after making the switch from the round ball code football, where she was playing for Western Sydney in the A-League women's competition, and a former young Matilda. And that's a relieving penalty for Newcastle. Now, Upton getting the concussion on-field test here. This would be a big blow for Newcastle if she was forced off.
You're thinking both teams are looking pretty tired, Benny. I feel like they're both looking a little bit tired now.
What a start to the game, Sam. 6 minutes, and it has been frenetic.
I know. And like I can talk, Benny, I walked up the 3 steps and I'm puffing. So that's what we want, though, don't we? A real hard start to the game.
Oh, there's going to be some fatigue. Caitlin Johnston passed that fitness test earlier in the week after missing the Origin series with that knee injury, as Predabot fed by Albert Jones. Higgins. Southwell. Johnston for a moment. You thought she might be able to find the gap. Higgins quickly out of dummy half. On to Upton. Bobby Law in concert with Murdoch. Southwell. On to Butler. Straight at a smaller Racine McGregor, but she stood up, the Dragons halfback. Final play here for Newcastle. Higgins points left, goes to Predabon for the crash play. She's able to get the offload back to Higgins. Southwell looks for Strange. Attempted control was pretty good in the end. It's still the last for Newcastle.
That's it there.
And Roach is wrapped up eventually.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Benny, that short ball to Taylor Predabon was probably the best option. I think they had them for numbers off Tamika Upton's quick play the ball from her run. Would have liked to see them shift out wide. But they hit Taylor Predabon short and then tried to play off the back of that.
Target finds Bobby Law. Played in that grand final, the Nelson Bay product for Newcastle last season. Toanier up towards halfway. And Target, has she done well not to knock that on? She has. Back to McGregor on the 4th. Newcastle rushed up and McGregor came out the other side. Takaranga Katoa. And she's pulled down by Upton. Final play here for the Dragons. Newcastle screaming out towards the left. Strange is going to leave it for Moran. And it's a penalty. And it's a penalty, Dragons. And it's
on the kicker.
The kicker has been taken late, so it looked like a neat play there from Moran, just dropping back to take the ball, and it was Clydesdale's contact there.
Yeah, that was great from Caitlin dropping back there when she seen Tamika up in the tackle.
Sortia gets squeezed in the tackle with Roach and Moran. Target. And McGregor, Takaranga Katoa. Jamie Soward would love his side to open the scoring here. Berry. Law just puts it down. And it was a great attacking opportunity.
Yeah, they're certainly looking dangerous. Just need to hold on to that ball. A lot of ball coming out to this left-hand side. It makes me think, Ben, if you know, in Origin, we've seen Jessie Southwell get caught shooting out of the line a fair bit, and we've seen Queensland go there on the left-hand side of the field. It wouldn't surprise me if Jamie Soward's picked up on this, and that's why they're attacking their left side so much.
It's an interesting edge for Newcastle when you think of Southwell out there, and also Sheridan Gallagher, who hasn't played a lot of rugby league, just her 3rd match after playing 2 for Mounties. So defensive frailties potentially have been pinpointed there, as here is Gallagher getting a touch and getting it up towards the 20. Did well to juggle and control. Upton, and now Johnston, who's playing in the back row this season. She was starting in the front row alongside Millie Boyle for the Knights in 2022. Albert Jones and Predabon. And this is a crucial, crucial moment. 4th tackle on their 40, Newcastle. And that's a lazy penalty to give away. And Newcastle are just going to take the tap, and Butler just flies towards target. Albert Jones this time decides just to take the carry. It was a dangerous one.
Dangerous.
It all ended well, but it could have gone horribly wrong there. So Predabon off the tap. And Newcastle with a chance to attack the Dragons line, and they have got a full set here to do that. Higgins, Southwell, Upton, quick hands, Gallagher with a great take, and she cuts back. Can she get to the line, Sheridan Gallagher? She's just short on debut. Upton now taking on the line. She's not going to beat Takaranga Katoa. McGrath West also there. Higgins finds Predabon in a hole, and Taylor Predabon plunges over for Newcastle. The first try for the Knights in season 2023.
What a try from Taylor Predabon. God, she's so hard to stop from a couple of metres out, and we obviously knew that from when they tried that same play previously. Beautiful quick hands from Tamika Upton on the play before. She's just, there's not much she can't do. Whenever there's points scored from Newcastle, you bet that Tamika Upton's had something to do with either the previous play or the play that got the person over the line.
And Ron Griffith said she was so impressive in the preseason. She went to the next level after being an impact player last year for the Roosters in their premiership win, the Knights also, and she gets a start this year and gets a try inside the opening 15 minutes of the new season.
Yeah, both times when both teams are defending their line, there has been a lot of quick play the balls. I think, you know, both teams really need to slow that down if they want to defend their try line properly. Players are too smart, too strong.
So Jessie Southwell trying to turn 4 into 6. And she does that quite simply. The Premiers Newcastle, they lead the Dragons 6-0 here in the Hunter. And Sam Bremner, Taylor Predabon's try, the difference between the two sides. You know, she started playing league because it meant she could get days off school.
Isn't that why we all play?
that's why you play sport at school, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why you play sport at school, and you play it when you're older to get away from your kids. I thought that's why you play footy. Oh, well, it paid off for her, and she's only getting better.
So the Dragons, such a bright start to this game. And now they're kicking off down 6-0. Here's the premiership winning coach, Ron Griffiths. He'll be happy with how they've soaked up the early pressure. As Moran finds Butler. How about the impact from Rima Butler? She said she wanted to get out of a comfort zone by moving up to Newcastle this season from the Eels. What a start to her.
Yeah, you certainly see that with players when they get out of their comfort zone and do something they've never done before. You certainly see majority of them really flourish. And Rima's certainly one of them.
Higgins off the back of a quick play the ball, and Predabon straight through the middle again. Southwell, again an early kick, testing out Berry, passes that test, beats Upton, and met by Moran and Albert Jones. And Keely Brown. So Bright comes onto the field in place of Takaranga Katoa.
Takaranga Katoa has done a whole lot of work for the Dragons in the the first part of this half. Definitely a well-deserved rest.
Toanier, a one-on-one there with Rima Butler. That shows you the strength of Butler, just to wrestle her opposite lock to the ground, and there's a mistake. Roxy Murdoch, she was in two minds and knocks the ball on. And after such a promising start, Jamie Soward's team, they're just starting to make some mistakes here.
Yeah, and probably a lucky mistake for the Knights there, because they had Taylor Predabon down on all fours in the back play there. So no doubt we've seen some numbers on that side of the field, and just needed to catch the ball before we tried to pursue that think first, then run. Sometimes it gets a little bit too exciting, and that's where we can make some errors. And
you might be able to see Taylor Predabon, she's got a dislocated finger now. If you're not great with those kind of things like me, look away. But that'll be all sorted.
Benny, would you like me to pick you up off the floor?
Caitlin Moran feeds the scrum. Upton there. So dangerous off those kind of opportunities. The Knights fullback. Higgins, great quick play the ball, and here's another of those premiership players last year at both the Roosters and Knights in Kapani, who's come onto the field as Southwell hands it on to Albert Jones. They're just struggling to control the speed here of Newcastle. Higgins, Kapani with a second carry in this set. Higgins scheming. Upton finds Albert Jones on NRLW debut, the Kiwi. Southwell stabs it in behind. The chase is good from Newcastle. And looking for the offload. It wasn't forthcoming from Shanae Lendl, and it's another set on the way here for Newcastle.
An aggressive kick chase from Newcastle. I love to see that. Great kick by Jessie Southwell. Dragons tried to get it out of the in-goal, but look how aggressive Caitlin, Shanice, they're all in there, determined to get her on the ground and earn that repeat set.
So Dragons looking long off the goal line dropout, and here's Butler again, getting up ahead of steam. Leaving Dragons in a wake again. Higgins to the short side. Upton, Clydesdale through the hole. She improves the position. And the Knights Origin star straight through off a beautiful pass. And Newcastle lead 10-0. The Premiers, they are flying here in the new season.
This is when Tamika Upton is at her most dangerous. She jumps on the short side and becomes a playmaker. She does a big double pump and hits short. And when you got someone like Yasmin Clydesdale hitting that line, hitting that unders line so hard, she's so hard to handle. Another beautiful play by the Knights, but that definitely came down to Tamika Upton and her ability to get on that short side fast and to ball play. 4 players in the space of about 12 metres. Very hard to defend.
Well, Yasmin Clydesdale, she was injured late in that second Origin, recovered from that, into the side for Newcastle. One of those 4 Knights who won 2 premierships last year. She was part of the Roosters along with Predabon, Higgins and Kapani. What a season they had last year. And she started this year pretty well.
think
also won a World Cup as well. You
Yep.
can put in there too.
The list
with you,
goes on.
Sam.
I think it's only early days as well for Yasmin Clydesdale in her position in back row. I think she's got so much potential there, and she's so good already. I think that might be her position.
And Jessie Southwell, she'll be happy that Yasmin Clydesdale just improved that position. And she makes it 12-0. The Premier's out by 2 converted tries, Jake.
Tamika Upton, she's an absolute superstar of the NRLW, instrumental in the Knights Premiership charge last season, and she's picked up right where she left off. What a little show and go, double pump there. Finds Yasmin Clydesdale. We know Tamika Upton, she's a try scorer. No one scored more tries in 2022 in the NRLW than her, but she turns facilitator there to get the Knights their second try in this game. And good news for them as that try was being scored. Taylor Predamon, she's had that finger, dislocated finger, put back into its socket. She's had it strapped up, and she's good to return to this match.
Thanks, Jake. Great news for Newcastle fans. She's had a great start to this match. Scored the first try. And the Dragons, this is going to be a real test for this new look side in 2023. And Butler showing no signs of slowing down. She's been out there since the start, Reema. Clydesdale. Higgins scoops and finds Albert Jones. What a pickup for Newcastle. Layshawn Albert Jones played for the Kiwi side in the World Cup last year. Higgins. This time she takes the tackle herself, and they're here on the last now, Newcastle. Southwell again. Kicking across towards Moore, and that's a confidence-boosting take for Mapasua, and the Dragons get their hands on the footy. And Butler came up. She may have got either a head clash or potentially a finger in the eye.
You're right.
And she just looks a little stunned. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep. Oh, that is a heavy collision.
Might give her the opportunity to take a few breaths. She's been out there for a long while.
What a start to this game. Almost 100 metres from her 8 carries. And as we touched on, she was looking forward to stepping up this year into that starting role after being a player that was used by Dean Witters off the bench for the Eels in that run to the grand final. Trainer with the thumbs up for the moment, until the bunker has a little check of that. Final 15 minutes here of this first half. Oh no, there's a problem again for Butler. She's still feeling that face. And Albert Jones is also hurting on the ground, so this looks as though it could be friendly fire. And Reema Butler and Layshawn Albert Jones have some blood spilling from the forehead.
Ben, if you can't handle the dislocated finger, I'm concerned for you right now.
Oh, there it is, forehead to forehead. And we know how easily the blood rushes when you get cut around the eye, and you can just see right on the eye for Albert Jones. What a start to this game, though, from Layshawn Albert Jones. NRLW debut. She's been playing in the Auckland Rugby League competition, the niece of Stacey Jones, the Warriors legend. And Reema Butler going off literally seconds after she was involved in a head clash. So awful to see. And both Butler and Albert Jones are going off for a HIA. This could be significant, Sam, because they could be without a couple of players. Remember, you need 3 unless there's foul play for that 18th player to be activated. So
yeah, most definitely, Ben. I think we're going to have to wait and see how they both go with their HIA.
Sorry, if those 2 players are ruled out, Newcastle will be able to activate Tiana Davison. So We'll wait and see how that plays out. Target finds McGregor. And Tamika Upton. And you can see there Davidson. So she's just having a conversation. The Kiwi, who's moved across from New Zealand after growing up playing rugby. So we may get to see her on her third appearance for Newcastle as Jasmine Strange. Nita Maynard out there, and Ramanak straight over halfway. Southwell finds Johnston. Again, Newcastle just rolling up the middle. Southwell's kick. Again towards Mapasua. Good take from Taylor Adeline Mapasua on her return to the NRLW.
Yeah, I think the next 13 minutes or so is going to be really important for the Dragons. If they're going to make some meters and get some points on the board, I think it's going to be in the next 13 minutes when two of their most dominant forwards are off the field and their Knights have had to adjust a little bit.
McGregor. Berry, there's some space out to the right. Berry decided against finding the pass, then did, and Keely Brown has opened them up. Moran got back to make the tackle. They arrive here at the last. Racine McGregor's kick. And it dropped on Gallagher, but she's safe under the high ball so far. A really solid start after making that cross-code switch, and not a simple cross-code switch.
We're seeing a lot more of that now, aren't we? So many girls coming over to play in the NRLW from various different sports and doing a really good job of it.
Southwell, Upton asking for the penalty, not forthcoming from Darian Ferner. Maynard finds Higgins, so you can see both dummy halves out there for Newcastle. Moran just distributing to Southwell. And Gallagher, was she taken out? It doesn't matter. The ball spills out to Nathan Wong. And
Newcastle.
Decision is there was a double knock on. And he's saying it was knocked on by Newcastle first. Now, Gallagher was going through here. Bobby Law got in her way. And then
Bring it back.
knock on from Newcastle or the Dragons there, Sam.
There's just bodies everywhere, Ben. I was trying to figure out what happened with Bobby Law. Then another two girls have sent each other on the ground. That's what we love about it, though. Win at all costs.
Oh, how good has this been? The start to the new season. We saw the Titans with a win. Oh, little knock on there was. 30 out with 11 minutes remaining before half-time.
Yeah, I think just a little bit of fatigue setting in now, and also a little bit of pressure to get to the other end, score some points so that you can go into the sheds with a little bit more confidence.
Well, let's head down to the sideline with Jake for an update.
Guys, bad news for the Knights. Layshawn Albert-Jones has been ruled out of this match with a Category 1 head knock. The good news is for now that Rayma Butler, she is a Category 2, so she will be assessed and we'll know more in about 15 minutes.
Thanks, Jake. So that's all important because they have two ruled out. As we touched on before, they can activate their 18th player, Moran. Maynard finds Higgins. It looks to be playing in that lock role with Albert-Jones now ruled out for this match. Maynard to Southwell. And again looking to find Clydesdale, hitting that channel on the left. Tegan Berry in the front line making the tackle. Higgins now decides against passing. Dragons defence so far up to the task in this set. Southwell, Upton stepped away from Law, but the pressure was exemplary from Bobby Law. She knew what was happening. She's seen that play at training plenty of times before.
She looked like she come flying in from about 150 metres back. She had so much time, but she did a really good job. When you commit to taking out that sweeper or the fullback, you really have to commit and make sure you give her a good whack.
Well, here's the former Knight, Bobby Law. I'm sure she would have been having a chat to Jamie Soward this week about a few of the Knights set plays. Toanier has lost it as she tried to offload. And just struggling to complete at the moment, the Dragons. As Romanak finds Johnston. Maynard, play the ball was flying back there. Southwell didn't have much time to do anything except run. Johnston bends back the line once again in this first half. Maynard, Romanak. And Romanak just a few metres short. Dragons defence again standing tall. Last play though. There is space out to the left. And Roach looks for the offload. Was it knocked on by Newcastle or the Dragons at 6 more tackles? Little knock on after the offload from Roach. And now Higgins. The Dragons are tiring here. This is a massive set in the context of this match. Southwell. Romanak under the post. Kayla Romanak with her first try in the NRLW. And Newcastle are out by 16. And Sam, you can see here, this is where the Dragons found themselves in great difficulty, giving away that set, that 6 again after the touch on the pass from Roach, and yep. Romanak did the rest.
They did so well to defend their line up until that point. Thought they were really smart out on the edge, and then Racey McGregor just got a hand to that ball, which led them to 6 again. They've been looking tired, the Dragons, but they did well to hold on up until this point. So they'll be going into the sheds a little bit defeated, but it doesn't mean it's over. Still got another half of football, more than another half of football to go. And I'm guessing, a bit of a spray off Jamie Soward. That might get him back up and firing come to the second half.
Well, Kayla Romanak, what a story. Remember last year, she wasn't part of the squad for the first part of the season. Hannah Southwell got injured, did that knee injury. She came in late on in the piece, impressed Ron Griffith so much, and she played in the grand final, and she retains a spot in the 17 this year. 18-0 for Newcastle, and it's the Curry Bulldog who bulldozed through the middle to make it 18-0 for Newcastle. And Caitlin Johnston was absolutely loving her teammate getting over for a first try in this competition. So 6.5 minutes. What are they doing here, the Dragons? 6.5 minutes before half time. What does he want? Does he want them just to complete a set?
Well, I think they've been trying to get to the other end of the field. Obviously, that's what you want to try and do. But I've just noticed, and I said it earlier in the game, they go to Racine McGregor every single time. And there's just so much kick pressure on her that the kicks aren't allowing them any more metres than they're trying to work for. It's making it a lot harder for them to get good field position, to have a good crack at getting over that try line.
Clydesdale. Well, the Premiers laying down a marker here in their opening match of the season. It's Roach, met by Keely Brown. Maynard and Kapani. A real unsung hero of probably both premiership wins last year for the Roosters and Newcastle. Simone Kapani just adds so much impact off the bench as Higgins. She goes inside the 30. Another chance for an attacking kick for Newcastle. Southwell, Johnston. Well defended by the Dragons. And a little bit of push and shove here. Wetherell and Johnston just getting a little heated.
It's on. They're showing all the passion they've got for the game and, most importantly, each other.
Well, Madison Wetherell back in the NRLW this season after she missed last year with pregnancy. So she played in that nines competition, was such a key player for the Dragons, part of that 2019 grand final side. Former teammate of yourself, Sam.
Yeah, I have been playing with Mad since she was a really young girl, and she's going to be great for the Dragons this season.
And Southwell, you could just see, as she found Johnson, she was taken out late. This is the contact from Wetherell on Johnston, and that's why there was a little bit of push and shove there. So everyone getting a little fired up.
She seems to be fine. She's bounced back up. Don't think the Newcastle Knights could afford another injury.
So big loss this for the Dragons. Tyler Nathan Wong, the gold medalist from the New Zealand Sevens side back in 2021, the Tokyo Games. She is leaving the field for a HIA. So everything happening in the 5 minutes before half time. And now Wetherell. We'll keep an eye out for that battle with Caitlin Johnston. Takaranga Katoa has also returned to the fray. And this will be a much relieving penalty for the Dragons. So how big could this be? 3.5 minutes before half time.
This could most definitely change the result of the game if we can get some points or get close enough to get down the end and a repeat set, something to go the way of the Dragons. Is exactly what they need. We've been up the other end the entire time, watching them defend their line. Let's see what they can do attacking their own.
Tackled in opposition half just shows you Newcastle's dominance. So can the Dragons get a lot of confidence here? Haven't had too many visits, but they've looked good with the ball in hand. Costa. And another penalty. The former New South Wales Waratah earning a whistle for the Dragons. So they've got a full set here attacking the Newcastle line. Wetherell straight through a couple. Johnston came across. They collide again. The ball bounces on the way to Sortia. Moran got her around the arm and then around the legs. Target. McGregor jinking. Couldn't beat Higgins and Moran. Halfway through the set, the Dragons. Zali Hopkins is out there finding Wetherell. She is hard to stop. Madison Wetherell. Target. Hopkins got absolutely met and squished onto the turf by Johnston. Absolutely smashed in the tackle. And now going straight through the middle. She scores. Tegan Berry right on the stroke of half time. That could be a momentum swinger from the leading try scorer in Dragons history.
Didn't we have a bit of everything in that play or that set of 6? We had Madison Wetherell, who was absolutely fired up from her and Caitlin's little dispute earlier. Then we had Caitlin hitting hard. Then we had Tegan Berry using her power, speed, and beating her opponent in number 1, Tamika Upton, to put some points on the board for the Dragons. This is exactly what they needed.
Oh, no, surely. Surely not. The try's been confirmed, yeah. Are you happy with that, Sam?
I'm happy with that because she did a post-try celebration and it always makes things a little bit more awkward if they've done that.
Maybe in 2022 that wouldn't be a try, but in 2023 I think it passes muster.
What an amazing try. That was awesome. And I would say not that Tegan Berry has been playing without confidence, but when you're a young fullback and this is the first game you've played in this position on this stage, that's only going to help you and push you forward.
Well, Bright, she's done some kicking in the Harvey Norman competition. She converts. And it's 18-6 here. And it was just quite incredible because you thought the Dragons' momentum was slowed there by the tackle of Johnston, the tackle before, where she smashed Hopkins into the turf. But then quick play the ball. Dragons take advantage. And Tegan Berry, she's scored in every match between these two sides in the NRLW history. This is Johnston. Just squeezed Hopkins into the turf. And then straight off the back, Johnston was out of position. And Berry through that gap.
Yeah, and Zali Hopkins jumping straight back up after getting eaten alive off Caitlin Johnson. So good to see. And obviously didn't bruise any confidence with Tegan Berry not being scared in the slightest after that.
Well, isn't this match set up? 18-6. This was actually the score at halftime in the semi-final last year. And guess who scored the try that got the Dragons back into it? Yep, you guessed it. It was Tegan Berry. It was an intercept on that occasion. She's done it here once again. They've got one play here before halftime, maybe a couple potentially. Takaranga Katoa. Maynard making the tackle. So here we go, final play of this first half, and it's going to result in Tegan Berry being tackled, and that is half-time here in Newcastle. The Premiers, the Knights, rushing out to an 18-0 lead. Romanak, Clydesdale and Predabon the try scorers, but the Dragons right in the shadows of half-time through Tegan Berry, getting themselves back in the fight here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Newcastle, the Premiers, lead the Dragons 18-6 right after the break here on Fox League. St George Illawarra looking to pull off a massive comeback here in the opening round. And they're going to get the kickoff. What a start for the Dragons. That's just what they needed. And it's into the arms of Racine McGregor, who we just spoke about. Takaranga Katoa. They started the first half really sprightly, the Dragons. Now a chance to do likewise in the second. Nathan Wong has passed that HIA. Wetherill. Target. Nathan Wong. Oh! And it's been called for a high tackle on Bright, whose headgear has been shifted by the force of that tackle from Johnston.
Oh, Johnston seems to have so much more energy now that she's playing in the back row. That's the second person she's eaten alive today.
Was there anything wrong with that, Sam? That's what I'm wondering, is Costa. Dragons. Big moment here for them. Takaranga Katoa. Tegan Berry just standing behind the play. The ball, they go the power play with Wetherill. How many Knights there? 5 of them to stop Wetherill.
Go through.
McGregor. Nathan Wong. Bobby Law couldn't get there, and Gallagher picks it up for Newcastle.
Yeah, Nathan Wong's looking good on this left side, but I'm wondering about her organisation skills. Bobby Law didn't know if she was going in or out there. Caitlin Johnson for Newcastle is jamming so hard. They do need to go there a little bit more often, but they need to have something organised.
Jasmine Strange just short of halfway. What a match she's having. Caitlin Johnston passed a fitness test this week to play. What an impact. What a player for Newcastle. Kapani. Maynard there at dummy half. Clydesdale. That was a good take from Abigail Roach. The New Zealand Test international playing it to Moore, and her pass is a scrappy one. Southwell spills it. It just would not bounce up, and Bright's in there having a little conversation with Southwell. It is getting a little tetchy at times, this opening round match.
It is. I thought the halftime would let everyone cool down a little bit, but they've both come out as fired as ever. Not that I'm complaining. I love to see it. They both want to win the footy game. Proud of who they're playing for. Great result for the Dragons.
A match really in the balance here. Newcastle had all that early momentum with the 18-0 lead, but the Dragons on their way here through Wetherill. Hasn't she changed the momentum of this match?
She certainly has. She's been aggressive and relentless through the middle. Hopefully she can play a few more minutes at this intensity or get some others in the middle to play up with her with that intensity. I think that's what the Dragons need.
Costa. Target. And McGregor on to Berry. Tegan Berry. Spotted by Strange, and she was able to make a key one-on-one tackle. Last play for the Dragons. McGregor's kick. It's a decent one, and it's Johnston going up like a fullback. She's got the 11 on her back, couple of ones there, and she turned into a fullback to make that big play.
We've seen Caitlin Johnson do this a few times throughout her career. You know, you expect your forward pack or your back rowers to hit hard, tackle hard. You see Caitlin Johnson jumping for catches, doing a bit of ball playing. She's a halfback in her back rower's body.
And now Shanice Parker looking for the offload, found Gallagher.
16 move!
Well, Lendl's asking the question whether there was either a knock-on or the pass went forward. Maynard on to Kapani. Vastly experienced hooker is Nita Maynard. As the kick on the last is just in behind Mapasua. A little bit of a juggle on the way through. Newcastle with a massive chase. And what about the hit from Clydesdale and Roach?
And every coach will tell you your kick is only ever as good as your chase. And a great return of the ball, but that chase and that contact just revs the Knights up to defend this next set of 6 with a bit of urgency and aggression. Not that we think they need any more.
Well, I think the disappointment that Ron Griffiths will have here is the way the Dragons have easily been able to make meters after that great chase. Target now up the middle, has Berry on the inside, doesn't need it for the moment, and Upton has to make the tackle. Nathan Wong doesn't kick, cut out pass to Bobby Law, and the pass goes forward, it looked, and that is the call from the referee.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there from the Dragons. We see it all the time in the NRL and the NRLW when there's a break made. Take the tackle, play off the back of it. It's just where your smarts need to come into place a little bit more. It's so easy to throw that cutout ball because you know that's where the space is, but sometimes it's better to go through the hands.
Strange with another tough carry. Just wasn't the opportunities for her under her dad John at the Roosters this year. So off to Newcastle, and great debut for the Knights. As Southwell, Parker put it down. Did it bounce off the toe? Darian Furner says it was knocked on.
A lot of the footy's been over this left side of the field and right side for the Knights. Looks like Bobby Law may have got a hand on it.
Yeah.
Well, Shanice Parker asking whether it was played at. The referee saying it was a loose carry.
Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
And this second half, look at the completion. So both sides will want to tidy that up.
Yeah, it's certainly been quite a different second half. A lot more completion and composure in the first half. Both just wanting to score tries before doing the hard work. So time for both teams to get back in the battle.
Tegan Berry onto Mapasua. The cavalry arriving for Newcastle.
I think Tegan Berry's gotten faster. I didn't think that was possible in the last 2 seasons, but she just looks so much more dangerous with the ball.
Well, silver medalist in the 100 metre at all schools level as a junior.
Well, she'd get gold now, Ben.
She is impressive, and she is the reason the Dragons are only behind by 12 here. Can she inspire them to another try? McGregor handing it on. Sortier! Sortier! Target. And now McGregor just trying to dab it in. It was an awkward one. And now the Dragons really have to try and pin Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right option, Benny. That was 4 defenders on that left-hand side for the Newcastle Knights and only 2 attackers on their right-hand side. So, you know, I was only in maths 7 out of 7, but according to my calculations, that means there was an overlap on the left-hand side of the field. We probably just need a little bit more dominance. Count the numbers. Tegan Berry could be someone to do that. And then follow through.
Good set of defence, though, off the back of that final play. And Newcastle are only just now over the 30 on the final tackle. And the option is Southwell, and the pressure was there from Costa. 6 more tackles. Gee, that's beneficial for the Knights, and they're going to start the set 5 short of halfway. And then Shanice Parker barreling over the top of Costa. Romanak, the most recent try scorer for Newcastle in this match, who feels an age ago. Maynard to Johnston. And Rima Butler returns to the action, and what an offload. On to Tinao. Maynard. Moran. Strange. On Newcastle debut, she scores. She's got 2 tries in her first 2 matches in the NRLW. And how about the celebration here? Sheridan Gallagher with a catch, and Newcastle are out 22-6.
I wonder how much time they practice at training these post-try celebrations, but...
Well, how big was this, wasn't it? 6 again, a little sloppy end of the set from Newcastle, but they got some luck and they took full advantage.
Great vision from Caitlin Moran to hit that long ball when needed. We spoke before about the right and wrong time to throw that long ball. That was certainly the right time, but why that came about was Racine McGregor made the tackle before, and she should have been out there on that right-hand side of the field. 3 in defending that. She just got stuck up in the tackle that she made, which gave them an overlap. That's a funny-looking fish.
Well, that's brilliant. Sheridan Gallagher with the try celebration along with Jasmine Strange. So how about that? She actually scored against the Knights on her NRLW debut last year for the Roosters. And she scores for them. It's hard to crack a Roosters side with the likes of Surgis, Baxter, Parker, Kelly, Fressard, so made the trip up the M1 to Newcastle. Southwell, and this is going to come back eventually, but it's wide in the end. Newcastle 22-6.
Jasmine Strange, she came from the Roosters after playing under her father, John Strange, who's the coach, and he actually joked that there'd be no food in the fridge for her when she got home if she decided to leave the Roosters and go to another club. But that was all in jest. He was happy for her to get an opportunity here at the Knights. She scores a try, and obviously it's been a good couple of weeks for the family as well. The brother, Ethan Strange, scored a hat-trick in the under-19s Origin men's match. So they're a try-scoring family, the Strangers.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. And she did that ACL a couple of years back, and she credits her father, John, for getting her back to this level. As Roach with a little juggle off the kickoff. And make sure you pencil that one in. Knights Roosters in round 8 for the father-daughter meeting. There's Romanak still going. She's walking back towards halfway. I think she's made about 10 metres walking, and she's up over halfway.
She's been great, Romanak. Really grown into this game.
Butler just overran Maynard. What a pick-up for Newcastle as well. The experience of Nita Maynard, Clydesdale. They can just smell this one now, Newcastle. 23 minutes to go, looking to try and finish off the Dragons. Southwell's kick. Gallagher chasing. Bounces away from her, and Berry lets it trickle. Bounce over the dead ball line.
Yeah, Tegan Berry certainly left that confidently. There was no real urgency, but she might have got a little bit of a heads up from the teammates just to leave it, even though there was a player right behind her wanting to put it down, score a try.
So you can see tackled in the red zone. Not too far apart, these two sides, but Newcastle have made the most of their opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's been the difference, Ben, is the patience and ability to capitalise off the back of their sets. Dragons seem to be a little bit flustered when it doesn't go to plan, whereas I think Newcastle Knights seem to be patient and trust their process, work for a repeat set.
Hopkins and Costa. Just for a moment thought she was getting away from Butler, but she pulled her to the turf. McGregor didn't have an inside runner as it just started to open up there. Last play here for the Dragons. Nathan Wong. It's a wobbly one. No pressure in the end on Tamika Upton. Bright and Costa had to hang on for dear life. And now Southwell straight off the back of a quick play the ball. And Newcastle just 3 tackles down in this set. They're almost up to the 40, and there's a little opening.
Yeah, I think a little opening is something that the Dragons needed, something for them to go their way. A little bit of an error, just trying to get that quick play the ball.
So referee saying she hasn't gotten to her feet to play the ball. And Tamika Upton was thinking about challenging, and you get to see the gears ticking over, and she thought, no, not worth it. We've seen those in the NRL, and she probably wouldn't have got the challenge her way.
Yes. Okay. Right.
It looks as though we may have a player sent for a head injury assessment.
Right in here. Line them up.
But it's all above board, so we're here with the Dragons' opportunity. Still plenty of time remaining in this match. Tegan Berry. Strange has made it her mission to take down Berry in this second half. McGrath-West. Just her 4th carry of the game. Costa fed through a gap there by Toanier. Nathan Wong hands it on to Bright. Costa. And it's just falling net there by Tino. So last play here for the Dragons. Is there some polish here from McGregor? It's a dink. It's up towards Strange, put down. Dived on by Newcastle, and it will be the Dragons' ball, knocked on by Strange, and they are going to challenge this, the Knights.
Smart option by Racine McGregor to put a kick in there. Maybe a little bit more urgency to attack the ball.
So Casey Badger, the senior review official for this one.
Jasmine Strange.
Was it a challenge for a breather?
Just looking to determine if Jasmine Strange ever touches the ball.
Does she touch it?
There's no touch from Jasmine Strange. We're playing on at this point. The referee now blows the whistle. The challenge is successful.
Well, that is an intelligent captain's challenge from the Knights.
Certainly she's picked it at the right time. Lucky she didn't use it 90 seconds before.
Jasmine Strange is pretty happy about it.
Play ball back here.
But the Dragons have had a breather, so Newcastle, well, this is going to be a tough set, especially this first carry.
Bring it back. Yeah, bring it back. All the way.
They've had a lot of chances in this second half, the Dragons, to attack Newcastle's line, and Strange taking the carry. Tino. And Maynard to Southwell. Upton to Johnston. And Shanae Lendl really trying to grab her by the collar and pull her to the ground. Still couldn't do so. Off to the short side they go. Parker with the fend onto Gallagher. Sheridan Gallagher in a foot race. Berry comes across. So too does Lendl. Last play for the Knights. Southwell. She's kicking across the ground. Strange is chasing. Strange. Oh, has she spilled it?
Oh.
She's asking maybe for a penalty try for a high tackle. This will be intriguing.
There were plenty of numbers out there for the Newcastle Knights off the back of that kick. They had plenty of runners. An amazing tackle.
Oh, it definitely was high. Now this is a potential penalty try if the referee sends it upstairs, but he hasn't. He hasn't sent it upstairs. So it's play on for the Dragons. Oh. Well,
I love the play on, Ben. It was high, but come on, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, well, Knights fans here at McDonald Jones Stadium may be a little frustrated with that call, but the Dragons, they're still alive here.
They're still alive. Just need a bit of energy to get it up the other end of the field. Struggled to get it up the other end of the field. And to earn those repeat sets. Haven't seen many of them. Seen one attacking kick from Racine McGregor, but not quite a great chase.
Last play here for the Dragons. Hopkins onto McGregor. And down it goes to Tamika Upton. Back up and over the 30 for Newcastle. Just the one try in this second half. 18-6 it was to Newcastle at halftime. And the try scorer in this second half, Strange, playing it.
She's had so much more involvement in this second half, Ben, that Jasmine Strange. She wasn't a little bit more quiet in the first half, but a lot more work being done by her this second half.
Predabon. And now Southwell again, not afraid to kick early, as she's shown us throughout the afternoon, as Berry, she gets clobbered by Parker.
What are these Newcastle girls doing in their off-season training? Are they getting fed?
I think the Dragons players are going to be having nightmares. Look at this, Parker.
Tegan Berry did really well to catch that ball, because when you know that someone, you can hear them running at you, it's quite hard to catch that high ball. So Tegan Berry did very well to catch it and hold on to it.
You just wonder whether Newcastle have got a Hit of the Day award, because Caitlin Johnston, she was leading the charge. Clydesdale and Parker have been putting in some massive, massive hits, as Brown just short of halfway. Still inside their own half, though, the Dragons. And McGregor's kick comfortably to Tamika Upton, and she's almost back to halfway.
Tamika Upton's positional play on that kick return is unreal. You hardly ever find a halfback or 5'8" finding the grass when kicking it when Tamika Upton's back there.
Yeah, what a player she is, signed until 2027. And Newcastle off the back of that carry with a chance here to go down and add more points to the board. Don't forget Super Saturday continuing here on Fox League. Straight after this, Knights and Storm in the NRL here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Cowboys and Eels in the NRL at 7:30, and we've also got Roosters Broncos in the NRLW at 6:30 as well, at 7:30 as well. What a night of footy as Southwell finds Johnston. It was touched on the way to Upton.
Oh! Release Bobby! Oh, go 0.
Higgins and Predabon straight at Hopkins, who was on the treadmill going backwards. Southwell. Moran got well met by Mapasua. Tough to put down Caitlin Moran. Plenty of tackles for Newcastle. Higgins. Maynard goes to Moran. She thought about the cutout. She does put in the kick. And Roach, Abigail Roach, on her first match in the NRLW. She grabs a try for Newcastle.
The most impressive player for me today, particularly in this second half, has been Caitlin Moran. She has been unbelievable in her selection of what she does with the football. It's been the right thing every single time. So every time she has her hands on the ball, she makes the right option, and we see that so many times in footy where the play is there and they pick the other option. Caitlin Moran, her last game was in the grand final last year where she did the same thing for her team to win the premiership. She set everyone up, made the right choice every time, and she's come back into this season right on top of her game doing the exact same thing. What a kick. Placement, timing, and just the right amount of oomph behind that boot to sit up.
Well, how about this for a story, Sam? Her brother, Nathaniel, scored his debut NRL try at this ground when he was playing for the Warriors against the Knights. And now his sister scores her NRLW debut try for the Knights.
I am impressed, but was it in the same corner?
Have to find out.
Let's just say that.
I'm going to say thank you very much to the Fox Lab. They do not miss a trick. Jessie Southwell, it's straight, is it long enough? It hits the post. No goal for Jessie. Newcastle leading by 20. Be at Belmore Sports Ground on July 30 as Real Pace meets Real Power head on for Unreal NRLW, the round 2 doubleheader. It's set to be a blockbuster day celebrating Women in League round as the Knights take on the Cowboys, followed by the Tigers clashing with the Sharks. You can grab your tickets for just $10. Kids under 15 go free with a paying adult. You can secure your tickets today at nrl.com/tickets. And the Knights with Tino. And the Knights just continuing their domination in this second half after the Dragons. You thought they were going to get back into the game right on half-time with that try to Tegan Berry. But the Premiers have showed their class so far.
Yeah, the longer this game goes on, the more dangerous these Newcastle Knights look. They're getting better and better. It's only game 1 of the season.
Well, they are leading the competition on the live ladder at the moment. After that win for the Titans, a 10-point win over the Cowboys. 16-6 in the earlier match. Upton, the cutout onto Sheridan Gallagher. Can she get an NRLW debut try? She's still going, Gallagher! Oh, so close. So close. She was desperate for it. You can see the disappointment on her face.
You can see the disappointment in her face. What a great run. What a powerhouse. What a player. So close. But Bobby Law, that's not the first time she's made quite a strategic tackle to save a try or to pull a girl out of the sideline. I love that Bobby Law's not just using contact. She's thinking about where she should be putting her hands, putting her shoulders, to try and keep the Newcastle Knights from scoring some more points.
So the Dragons, 10.5 minutes here. Asking for the penalty, you could see Toanier. And here's Roxy Murdoch. Hopkins to Berry. Hopkins going for a scheme, finding Costa. And she's going to be driven back, Illa Costa. Racine McGregor looks to place the kick, but it's placed straight into the lap of Tamika Upton, who accelerates as she gets to the line. Almost came through once again. Roach.
The Newcastle Knights seem to be using their outside backs a little bit more in this second half to free up the middle of the field, let their forward pack have a bit of a breather so that they can do all the big defensive efforts that they need when the Dragons are attacking. I think the outside back's doing a really good job getting in there, helping out.
Tino. Higgins, dummy to Romanak and found Predabon. Scored the first try of this match. Higgins, Southwell, kicks back towards Upton, picked up by Tegan Berry. She's the fastest player in the competition, but can Clydesdale track her down? No, she cannot, and Tegan Berry, she scores a double, and the Dragons, they are not going away just yet.
I love that from Tegan Berry. You'd think she would be sick of scoring tries now. She always seems to know how to get her team out of trouble or try to get them out of trouble. Jessie Southwell went for the kicker. You could see Tamika Upton on the inside of Jessie wanting to get that ball, but Tegan Berry in the exact position where she should be, not giving up, not letting down, and rewarding her team with a try. She hasn't given up, even though there's only 8 minutes to go and quite a few points to score.
And she made sure of the put down this time as well.
Yeah, she's gone with two hands. Better option.
So, couple of tries for Tegan Berry. She's now the equal leading try scorer in NRLW history. 12. I was just double checking whether Tamika Upton had scored today. No, she hasn't. So those two level at 12 apiece on the all-time standings. So even with the move from the wing to fullback, her try scoring qualities have not diminished one bit, as Nathan Wong. So Bright took the first attempt, not on the field now, so Nathan Wong she converts, and it's back to 14 the difference.
She is a young superstar, isn't she, Tegan Berry? A sprint star as a junior, so she shows off her pace. She scored 2 tries tonight. This is the first one. Just cutting them straight through the middle. A little bit of a dicey put down, but she gets it there. And then here in the right place at the right time, like all good fullbacks are. And as soon as she picked that up, she was away. She is one of the stars, or rising stars of this Dragons side, making up for the fact that Emma Tonagato has obviously left for the Sharks. She'll want to make that fullback spot her own. And, you know, they have lost a lot of experience, this Dragons side, over 200 NRLW games worth of experience. But this is a young team with plenty of potential. And the good thing is that this year they'll have plenty more time to build their combinations with a longer competition. You've got 9 games and then semi-finals to go. So this is not a quick competition this year. Jamie Soward will have plenty of time to turn this Dragons side around.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Average age this side today, 23 for Jamie Soward. Got the likes of players like Roxy Murdoch, the experience with the youth here. Tegan Berry Newcastle just clocking off a little here. The Dragons still well and truly in this. 14 points in 6.5 minutes. We've seen that before. Now they get their defensive resolve back in order. Kapani with Romanak. Nathan Wong on to Law. Good angle from Bobby Law. And Gallagher comes across to wrap up the ball. Last play for the Dragons. Short side they go. Nathan Wong will score for the Dragons. What a fight back here from the Red V. And she gets a debut try, the Olympic gold medalist. And we're set up for a grandstand finish here in Newcastle.
That was a really well-deserved try from the Dragons. The set before that, they attacked that same side, had numbers, went there again. Southwell not quite quick enough to come back in the line so that they could number up. And Nathan Wong took advantage of that. We've seen her first game in NRLW. She's fast, elusive, and we can't afford, if you're defending her, to sit on the try line. Got to get up with the rest of your teammates.
She's still keen as well to push for the Paris Olympics. She said that, so the New Zealand Sevens program, they are back around December, November, December, so she's got some time after the NRLW season to head back, and she wants to be involved in Paris next year. What a talent she is, Tyler Nathan Wong. Now in rugby sevens, you usually drop kick for goal, so some would say potentially easier with the place kick, some would say not.
So many of these rugby sevens players, God, they're full of skill, aren't they? They come over to the NRLW and show us what it's like to be a full-time athlete.
Oh.
Except maybe the
she might need,
goals.
She gives the thumbs up to the Newcastle fans, Tyler Nathan Wong, but take nothing away from this. Newcastle just clocking off, and you said that's where Jamie Soward might be looking, Southwell's defensive deficiencies. And there's another try for the Dragons.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something that Newcastle will have to try and fix up moving forward. It's Jessie, she just wants to be involved. That's the problem, and it's a good problem to have. She wants to defend. She wants to get in there.
So another set here for the Dragons, and Wetherill, who made such a difference in the first half, back out there. The force there with Predabon, ginormous. You could just hear the impact between Predabon and Wetherill. Look at them get ready for it. The G-force. And that has just inspired the Dragons here. Up towards halfway, and they've still got 3 tackles up their sleeve. And Wetherill's going again here. It's Predabon to meet her. Gregor, little chip and chase. Berry's chasing. Tegan Berry wrapped up by Upton. What a play that is from the Newcastle captain. Potentially a match-winning play. McGregor again with a kick. Moran going back. It comes off the boot. Upton scoops it up.
Ben, my hands are sweating. This game has escalated with 3 minutes to go. The Dragons look hungry, don't they? They look confident in what they're doing.
How about this, the chip and chase? And Berry, what about this for a tackle from Upton? That's a massive play.
Massive play.
And then Moran, her boot, well, it's helped her out there, because if she just dropped that cold, I think Brown would have scored, but...
Tamika Upton was super busy there, made the one-on-one tackle with Tegan Berry, and then back again to pick up the kick return.
So pickle juice for Berry, so it's just cramp.
Well, she's done a lot of running this game. She deserves all the pickle juice she wants.
Oh, she is struggling. She's got 2.5. Oh, a little short one from Southwell, and Upton's got it. That's 2 massive plays in the last minute from Tamika Upton. First the tackle on Berry, then regains possession. And now Parker is off, and Shanice Parker runs past the cramping Tegan Berry. Berry absolutely gone with cramp, and Newcastle took advantage. Upton now, there's no fullback for the Dragons. Clydesdale. Newcastle looking to seal the win here. 2 plays for the Knights. Higgins to Southwell. Romanak already has 1. Does Kayla. There's so much space out to the right. Look at the Dragons' left edge. And that's where Newcastle go. Southwell steps. Southwell scores. Newcastle. They're going to win here in round 1. The Premiers on home turf. And this is how it all played out, Sam. A smart little short dropout. Upton collected, and the Knights, they're going to collect 2 points as a result of the last minute.
Oh, it's been the difference. The Knights have used their smarts when they've needed to, and such a strong run by Shanice Parker. She's come back from a knee injury after the World Cup last year beautifully. Such a strong runner of the ball. And they absolutely capitalised on this line break. They had so many options on the right-hand side of the field. It could have gone to anyone, but a nice little right foot step from Jessie Southwell, and she went over the line almost untouched. A great try to finish off, 1 minute to go of this game. And that sort of just sent a bit of a sign, I think, to the Dragons and probably the rest of the NRLW teams that this is the way the NRLW Knights are going to play this season. Relentless, strong, and going for the back-to-back.
Well, Jessie Southwell scored a try almost identical to that last year against the Broncos in round 1. The dummy straight through.
Yeah, you'd think that right leg would be getting a little bit sore by now. Keep going if it pays off.
And she might be off to Henny Penny with a...
For a chippies.
She loves the chippies, her sister Hannah as well. They might be off to enjoy as Southwell converts. 32-16 Newcastle. And the Dragons will have to kick off here. Well, she had to score, didn't she? When you have a, 3-on-1.
There's not much you can do there. As well, defensively, you've got to chase hard out when you've got so many numbers on the outside of you.
You've got 10 seconds, just wait.
Ron Griffiths, happy with the afternoon. I'm sure he'll have a bit to say to his side post-match areas they want to improve. And the kickoff, it hasn't gone 10. So this will be a penalty to the Knights on halfway. What do they do here? You think they're going to try anything? Newcastle are happy. McGregor's saying don't switch off here. So Southwell, well, she's just going to play it conservatively here. She's going to pump it into the Andrew John stand, and Newcastle, the Premiers, with the perfect start to their premiership defence.
Yeah.
32-16.